All right, all right, all right. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. Now, the new information that came out today was the fact that DDG's request for a restraining order has been denied. Someone says the judge ruled against him. So what's that tell you? That just tells me that the judge had made an order and DDG did not respond to the order when they requested to serve him. He did not reply in a timely manner, and he chose to wait at a strategic time to file his paperwork, and the judge denied it. That's what that tells me. That doesn't tell me that what he said is wrong, because in the paper, she agreed in her response that she did do those things. So that don't tell me that he's wrong about feeling like she's, toxic or showing her toxic ways. And that doesn't make me change my stance. That just means this is not current. So that also doesn't mean that this situation, upon her returning back, is going to stay that way. Also, now, the judge ordered that she's able to take the baby to Italy because she has prior contractual things going on. And because she has prior contractual situations going on, the judge granted her to be able to take the baby. DDG did not respond in a timely manner. That just means that they are going to put this on regular calendar. And they're going to make this an issue that is not an emergency. He filed an emergency order. When you file an emergency order, it just means, listen, I already made a ruling. This is not an emergency to me because she's been having the baby. Nothing's happened to the baby. And I already made the ruling. If it was an emergency, you would have responded to my paperwork. So what we're going to do, and what normally happens, is they set a calendar hearing on a regular court day that's not an emergency basis. All right. So when they set this calendar hearing, DDG has time to submit further documentation. Now, in support of Halle's documentation, she posted, "Oh, look, all of his fans are harassing me. All of his fans are saying, they're stalking me, they're harassing me. He's getting his family to, do this, and that." When they set this forth for calendar, then that just means that they're going to have to go to mediation. All right. And when they go to mediation, a mediator is going to look at DDG submit his part, where there's literally Halle Bailey fans online saying she can delete him and I'm going to still be on her side. She could put a bomb in his thing and blow him away and I'm going to still be on her side. There's literally the same messages that she submitted saying that DDG fans are harassing her is the same messages that his team can compile. And when they go forth for a regular calendar hearing, a mediator is going to read through it and say, this is petty, blah, 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 blah. This is a concern, this is a concern, or this isn't a concern, this is a concern. And what they're going to do is base a parenting schedule on what they see from both parents. Once DDG responds and he has a regular court day, he got to eat the L of her going to Italy. That is what it is. Handle your business. Stop thinking, oh, if I go to court, I'm da-da-da. No, handle your business. Handle your business and go to court. If you feel like you want to be in your child's life, go to court. Just like Dr. Umar, he just made another video talking about my baby mama knew that before she got pregnant, I told her I didn't want to go to the courts. So when she went to the courts, I disappeared and I didn't be a dad. Okay, well then you're a deadbeat. You're a deadbeat. If She would have went to the court and he wouldn't have responded. He would have been a deadbeat. He responded, so now they're going to battle it out. That's how it goes. All right? So if anybody knows about the court system and how it goes, trust me, it's me. I done went to definitely a lot of them. Okay? And I am a mother who has maintained primary custody of my child every single time. Period. All right? My rights have never been stripped. I have never been on a limited basis with my child. I have always been the primary parent. So if you have a question or if you think that if anybody don't know how the courts work, baby, let me... Hello? You're looking at her, okay? So, what does that tell you? That just tell me that it's going to get set on calendar. And they're going to hash it out. They're going to go to a mediator. The mediator going to come up with a parenting plan. And being that, she beat him to the punch and she went to the court first and she filed first, he probably is going to start with hours. All right? And he ain't going to like it. But because she started it first, he probably will start with those hours that she's trying to impose. And then he going to have to work his way up. Period. What are we saying here? And then I really have to stay out of the comments because I be telling y'all, like, don't trigger yourself. And then you watch my content, you trigger yourself, and then you say some BS that triggers me, that make me want to really like go off. But there's one comment that I have to address because I was just like, man, listen, y'all do not understand. But before I go to that comment, this is the supplemental response that she submitted. So in her response, she submitted a supplemental pleading today. All right. And in her supplemental pleading that she filed today, she put all of the social media posts where, like I was just telling you, people were saying, oh, he's a good father. And somebody filmed her baby out with the nanny. And it was posted on social media. And they were like, look, this is Halo out with his nanny. And she posed that as a concern, which is a concern. You got fans going out of their way to film my baby and post it to social media. Obviously, that's not something that DDG can control, but it is something that she can use to, hey, judge, I'm a damsel in distress. Look at me. These people are out here, even though they're famous, and it would happen to her even if she was just the famous one. But this is things that she submitted. Let me show you guys. The supplement that she posted today, where she posted all of the social media posts and everything like that. Hold on, let me get my watermark real quick, because I had to pay for these court papers. I had to pay for these court papers. Hold on. Let me get my watermark real quick, y'all. Because these papers wasn't free, and y'all can't just be stealing them willy-nilly like that. Y'all can't just be taking it willy-nilly like that. Right. I agree with you, Maria. You said that she needs to not post the baby ever again if he can't post them. I agree with that. I think that if you want to impose restrictions and you say this parent can't do it, then you need to lead by it and don't do it either. If you say it's such a danger for him to post the baby, and you're 10 times more famous than him, then you need to apply those same rules to yourself as well. I absolutely agree with you, Maria, on that. So let's get these papers up here. What is this? One second, y'all. Y'all say DDG gonna have his mama watching. I mean, child, I can't believe the person that is on the stand right now in the Diddy trial. So let me try to get through this as quickly as possible. Hold on, let me drop the opacity on this real quick, and then we're gonna get into the receipts. All right. All right. So boom. All right. So this is, man, I'm still debating. Go back to New York. Don't go back to New York. But honestly, I be feeling like, I'm sorry. I be feeling like if I'm not there and I'm not in the courtroom, like I wanted to do daily videos, but I'm like, if I'm a report, I'd rather be there to report like what I see. But I don't know. But anyways, let me go through these things. All right, so this is her supplemental response. This is Exhibit 1. And as you can see, the bottom, this is her. She filed this on today. All right. And then that's her e-signature. And this is Exhibit 1. So this is one of the messages that she put in supplement. Or no, you know what? Actually, let me drop the opacity a little bit more. Is that, I don't know. What that mean? If I don't get your commentary like in the Megan trial, then I ain't interested. What that mean? What did that mean? What that mean? So anyways, you know what? What does that mean? All right, so my subscribers sent me these papers, and the watermark on the paper is IKYMFL. Now, I asked her which content creator that watermark belongs to, and she said that she didn't know that she got it off of social media. Now, in the middle of me downloading the responses to the in the middle of me downloading the responses to the declaration and the supplemental stuff, I was downloading all of the paperwork from Halle's court records. And then when I got to the actual response, I started getting an error message in LA Superior Court, and their system right now, it has like an outage. So I'm going to pull up this document that is from this person, IKMFL, and this is what she responded to DDG's request to take her away from taking the baby to Italy. All right. Now, I'm going to hope that this is not some doctored manufactured receipt. It looks legit, and it looks like it has the correct information. It has the correct case number and things on there. So I'm going to read it to you guys so that her supplemental response will make sense. All right. Sorry to be all over the place. So Ash sent me this, and we're going to read through it. So in response to DDG saying, listen, she's a harm to herself. She threatened me with these text messages. She said that she was going to delete herself. She said that because I cheated on her, she's going to hurt herself. Before the baby was present, she also stated that she was going to delete herself. She has been toxic. He showed his finger cut. He showed all of these things in his paperwork. And so all of the headlines, he talked about her having an abortion, her doing all of these things. So this is her response before I show you what the supplement is so that you guys can understand. And whichever content creator is with the watermark IKYMFL, list them below, because I'm not being shady. I really don't know which content creator that is. Now, or else I would give them credit. So this is what she submitted. It says, I am requesting the court deny Daryl's request. Instead, I request that the court grant me permission to take our son out the country to perform my employment duties. I also request orders to stop Daryl personally, and that he instruct his family and friends to stop posting about our son, this litigation, and me on all platforms discussed below. I want to point out that Daryl has requested an order blocking me from traveling with our son for my scheduled work next month, and he waited until June 4th, 2024 to ask for custody orders. Although he and his attorney have ignored all of my efforts for him to have monitored visits with our son since the issuance of the temporary restraining order on May 13th, 2025. Now, May 13th, 2025 to June 4th, in reality, is not a long time for a response, all right? But when you get these attorneys and they write things up a particular type of way, it'll make it look as though I gave this person adequate time to respond and they responded to nothing. Now, as DDG looked at her proposal, I'm sure he looked at it like, monitored visits, girl, get out of here. You know what I mean? However, when you don't respond at all, okay, he could have responded by saying, I'm going to look this over with my lawyer and I'm going to refute your claims and come back with a counter, anything. That's a response. She couldn't then say there was no response, all right? Now, May 13th to June 4th is not even a full month. However, because there was no response, according to her, this is how they're wording it. So she says, he has ignored all of my attorney's efforts for him to have monitored visits with our son since the issuance of the temporary restraining order on May 13th. Daryl has exaggerated, lied, and misconstrued for the court not only the history of our relationship, but our parenting and my mental health. There is no doubt that I was emotionally devastated in 2022 and in 2023 by his behavior of ongoing use. I have been very vocal about my anxiety, depression, and previous thoughts of self-deletion. Without waiving the psychotherapist patient privilege and physician patient privilege, I have reached out to my doctor and received treatment to address these issues. I have been and remain 100% available and capable as a parent to our son, Halo. Had Daryl really been concerned, now this is where y'all helped her and her lawyer write this out. Because the rest of these messages, the rest of the pleadings sound exactly like social media comments, all right? I'm like, listen, they done piled through social media. They done got social media's talking points, and they done put them in an official document, allegedly, okay? I'm just saying, that's what it looked like. That's what it appears to be, okay? I'm not saying that's facts, but the rest of what is written sounds like comments typed up in a document form. Now, not saying that her response isn't her legit response, because obviously, hey, use your mud and you throw your mud back, all right? And this is the mud that she's throwing back, and hey, they both gonna be throwing dirt. So she says, I have been and remain 100% available and capable as a parent to our son, Halo. Had Daryl really been concerned about my parenting, he would have taken action prior to this time. He has never sought custody orders or any orders protecting Halo until today, the day that my DVRO was set. Now, this is key, and this is a lesson to men, all right? Stop thinking that you are too cool for school to handle your business in court. What she put on this paper then makes everything look as though what you're doing is only out of retaliation and not mere concern. Now, it doesn't negate or discount your claim. It just makes your claim look petty, and it makes your claim fall less on the merit totem pole as hers because she filed first. All right. Now, also, just because you file first does not mean that you're going to maintain sole custody. It just means that you are going to put your foot down. The judge is going to wait for you to respond. And then once you respond, then they're going to divvy it out. Now, because he waited, and I don't know if the judge gave him a response time, I'm going to assume when she got her DVRO, he was supposed to respond to that. Now, because he did not respond to that, that is an automatic reject in the court. All right? Doesn't mean that she's not a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Doesn't mean that he was right in cheating. Doesn't mean that he didn't put his hands. Doesn't mean those things. It just means you have to follow procedure. And you can't be too cool for school thinking that you don't have to file. Okay? Next exhibit. She says, most of Daryl's alleged incidents took place in 2022 and 2023. Okay, now she clocked it right here. And again, most of this, you so mad, Binky, you so mad. I'm gonna address you in a minute. You want some attention. Don't block her just yet, guys. We're gonna give Binky some attention. Okay, we're going to address her in a minute. She wants my attention real bad. But let's finish reading the court papers. Binky, I'm gonna give you your Binky, your pacifier, and give you your attention that you want in a minute. But let's finish reading through the paperwork. Okay. So, most of Daryl's alleged incidents took place in 2022 and 2023. It is now June 4th, 2025. But Daryl makes no specific allegations about any incident since his own claims about an incident that took place back in January 2025, which I addressed in my DVRO. Yet Daryl did not seek any orders for protection or custody until now, nearly 5 months later. In his declaration, Daryl has also failed to explain why he waited until now for the DV orders or custody. Y'all is comedy in the chat. Y'all is funny in the chat. Hold on, hold on. I'll do this. Oh, there we go. Anyway, I know CTHRU, that's what I talked about when I first came on. I'm like ecstatic about that. And I wasn't supposed to be spending this much time on this, but we literally have to go through the facts. So, yes, I talked about that already. All right. So, and I'm going to do a live on that as well. All right. Now, she said, all right. So she said, listen, I already told y'all about the incident that he's speaking about, and he has not came to seek any order of protection until 5 months later. Now, she also waited 4 months later, but she waited 4 months to file about it. But when you are dealing in battle, you have to make the other person sound like they are the lowest of the low and you are the more responsible adult. Now, as we know, she barely filed last month, which was 4 months later. All right. And he barely filed in response to what she filed now, which is not even 30 days later. But in her paperwork and why you must handle your ducks and you get it in a row when you're dealing with child custody and things like that, this is how she's wording it. She said, my DV, and this is something, if I was Daryl, I would respond in my pleading paper. Sorry, Judge, it has been not even 30 days since she has brung this situation to court. She has only mentioned this 4 months later after me on stream, I would detail the messages that showed her retaliation. And this is how family court goes. It gets petty, okay? You have to, they're going to go below the belt. They're going to go below the gutter. They're going to make you seem like you're the one incompetent. And you have to, when you respond, you got to go line by line and correct it, okay? And that's what Daryl's attorney, I'm sure, is going to do, is go line by line and say, listen, Judge, she waited 4 months. But, you know, she can then say, well, Judge, the reason why I waited 4 months is because he then, what prompted me is because he took a picture in my bedroom and he showed, you know, that he was in my bed, in my room, and I was scared. So that's what prompted it 4 months later. Do I feel like she has a valid response for waiting 4 months? Yes. You know, that would be something where a judge would be looking at it and they would be like, well, I understand why you waited 4 months, you know, But Daryl's attorney can look at situations that we don't know about and put that in his response. You have to go line by line with these things and weigh it out, because that's what a mediator in these situations are going to do. All right. So then it says, in his declaration, Daryl has also failed to explain why he waited until now to ask for orders for DV or custody. If he genuinely had any concerns about me as a person or me as a parent, this is cold retribution to embarrass. Now, this is where I feel like she took social media's talking points and put it in her document. Now, again, think, keyword think. It ain't a fact, but it just sounds like she took some of y'all talking points and added it in this paper. But anyways, she said, this is cold retribution to embarrass, humiliate, and caused me additional emotional distress. Daryl has repeatedly threatened to file something to cause me additional harm. His papers are nothing more than ongoing abuse. Now, I will address the truth about his allegations further if the court sets his request for hearing. I am contractually obligated to be in Italy to film a movie. I have been and remain Halo's caretaker. Halo cannot be left in Daryl's care and or his mother's care. I do not pose a threat to our son or to myself. These allegations will be disproved at the time of the hearing. As the court may recall, on May 13th, 2025, I was granted a temporary restraining order, Exhibit 1. I asked the court also grant an order to stop Daryl from continuing to harass me online. His online presence in his means of financial support. His online presence is his means of financial support, and he has continued to use this to cause me distress and harm. Daryl is a professional YouTube and Twitch blogger and rapper. Whenever he wishes to cause upset and get clicks, he starts bad-mouthing me to his several millions of fans. Since the orders were made, this online behavior has only escalated, and I have continued to receive death threats. A few examples of these angry, aggressive posts are attached as Exhibit 2. His fans constantly post pictures of our son and are surveilling our son and me. Our son is not a public figure, and his safety and well-being are of great concern. Just recently, Daryl's fans posted a video of Halo in the public park with my babysitter while I was in New Jersey working. Claim 1. I am a bad parent for working. This means that someone was watching our whereabouts and following Halo and my nanny in the park. This post is attached as Exhibit 3. All right. I'm going to show you guys all of the exhibits after this. All right. I'm going to show you all of the exhibits after this, but let's finish reading. I realized when I was about to show y'all the exhibits, I'm like, wait, I got to show y'all what she said to make sense of what was posted. Right. So what do y'all think so far? Now, me personally, if I was Daryl again, child, but does she have claims? And you know what I mean? It's a fight. It's a battle. It's a battle. It's a battle. But one thing that I do believe is that I believe in fairness. If there's going to be a rule that he don't post his kid, then I believe that she needs to have the same rule. All right? I don't believe in just because I'm the mother, I can parade my child on social media, I can post my kid, but it's such a danger when you do it. I think that if this is the rule that she wants to implement for their child, then I think that she needs to apply it to both of them. And there needs to be a order put in place that her nor him post Halo on the internet. If that's the claim that it's dangerous to have him on the internet, she's 10 times the celebrity or have the celebrity status as him. And the order needs to be stipulated that both parents do not put him on social media, if that's a danger, because she's more famous than DDG is. All right. So let's continue reading. So she says, Daryl even posted about learning the court orders issued live on social media the day after the orders were made, but he refused to accept service of the papers until June 3rd, 2025. I will bring the video that Daryl posted of himself to court, all right? He has been out of state and his representatives have not accepted service until yesterday. Now, do you hear what she said? She's saying, listen, Judge, he's evading being served. And then in the next line, she says he's been out of state. So it's like, if he's out of state and he's not home, you know, but this is why it's important to have somebody who is an advocate for children first in your ear. Set them egos aside, and if he would have not got on his high horse on social media and got on his high horse and was like, oh, if I go to the court, I'm already knowing that I'm going to win, and he would have actually filed papers, this would have been going a little bit different. But because he didn't, she's able to word things differently. Now, in some of the wording of this stuff, like, I wouldn't even feel comfortable saying certain stuff, but lawyers are going to lawyer and they're going to put certain stuff in there. He haven't been home, but then you shaming him for not accepting the service is, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, you know, and it hasn't even been 30 days. So it's like, you know, all right. But it says, she said that he didn't accept service of the papers until June 3rd, 2025. I'll bring the video that Daryl posted of himself to court. He has been out of state and his representatives have not accepted service until yesterday. Daryl has used the last 3 weeks since the orders were made to only increase his online campaign against me. He live streams 24/7. In addition, I have received threats from his friends and family. This has caused me tremendous emotional distress and fear. During this time, I have tried through my attorney to arrange monitored visits with our son. I had asked the court for this order in hopes he would accept some visits, and he has ignored my attempts. I have also tried to set up a settlement conference, but he has ignored my attempts. Instead, Daryl waited until the day before the June 4th, 2025 hearing to make up claims against me and feign concerns about events from years ago in retaliation to my filing. So she's not saying what he's saying is a lie. She's just saying that's old news, all right? So when people say, oh, well, because the judge, what do you think now? The judge denied it. I think that DDG needs to handle his business, but that doesn't mean that I think any different from how I felt yesterday. I feel like a lot of the antics that she had was manipulative, and I stand on that. And I feel like he's out of line for playing with her. If he put his hands on her, he's out of line for that. And he's not no saint and she's not either. I think that they were engaged in a toxic relationship. I think that before she got pregnant with his baby, she should have ran for the hills before that. All right. She had very much, not just what social media say, because you have to learn for yourself what you can tolerate, what you can't tolerate, and you can't just go off of social media's word. You have to live it. Now, her lived experience without social media warning her showed her that this was not somebody that you procreate with. She denied following the signs, all right? She denied that. She's literally grabbing knives, grabbing pew-pews, doing all of these things to try to guilt him to be with her, and then got pregnant thinking that that was going to make the situation a better situation. And now, because he has not conformed to how she wants him to be, she's now using the baby for a tit for tat. If you don't see that and you think I'm a pick me because I can peep it, then hey, it is what it is. Pick me today, okay? And when you pick, hold on, do being a pick me come with money? Let me put in my Cash App, okay? Because baby, I need to. If we gonna, can we pick cash up with it? Can cash come with the picking? You know, I don't know, but And that also is not saying that he's not out of line. That's also not saying he did not do her dirty. That's not saying that he wasn't wrong and he did not play a role. That's not saying he didn't, treat her bad. It's just simply saying this is what it looks like to have a level of accountability in the situation that happens. All right. I'm not about to get on here and act like, oh my God, poor me, I can't believe this, and that, when I put myself there in certain situations. A lot of y'all, because y'all have been cheated on, you will think, oh my God, he was so wrong. I remember when I was 9 months pregnant and my baby daddy cheated on me. No. I was so sad. Listen, public service announcement. That's horrible. Okay? A woman getting cheated on while she's pregnant, while she's vulnerable, while she is in this time where she can lose her life by giving birth. That ain't no situation that is a situation that you want to play on a person's emotions. All right? But we have to realize that having a baby in an already broken union is not going to make it better. It's going to make it worse. This is a situation that only is progressing to get worse. And because he will not play ball, he is going to have to suffer. Now, because I couldn't control you and you wouldn't come to my program, now I'm about to control you through Halo. This is it, definitely what it is. And that's not saying that there wasn't a tussle or fight or hands laid or whatever. He needs to be held accountable for that. Let's continue. Where did I leave off? Child, I went on a rant. Child, where was I at? Anyways, what was I saying? Somebody said that's not what that is. Let me guess. He's a narcissist. He's a narcissist, and because he's such a narcissist, poor her. That's what child, cause y'all use that narcissist stuff out, baby. Y'all wears it out. Y'all wears it out. A nigga could go out in your face and you know he cheating on you. You know he ain't right. You know that he ain't moving right. And then when it continue to get worse, he's a narcissist. Oh my God, he been cheating on me. He been lying to me. You knew that. He's a narcissist because, come on, y'all wear that narcissist stuff out, honey. Anyways, okay, so she said, during this time, I have tried through my attorney to arrange monitor visits with our son. I had to, she said, okay, so he ignored her attempts. I've also tried to set up a settlement conference, but she has ignored my attempts. Instead, Daryl waited until the day before June 4th, a hearing to make up claims against me and feign concerns about events from years ago in retaliation to my filings of my DVRO, asking the court for orders that would enjoin me from working next month. This is further evidence of his abuse and coercive control. He is following through with his prior threats. At any point in the last 3 weeks, he could have addressed any issues. Now, again, at any point in the last 3 weeks, you still have to get counsel. They have to look at your evidence, all that. She said, listen, you had 3 weeks. You should have got on this day one, right? She said he didn't choose to respond in the last 3 weeks. She said, this is further evidence of abuse because he had 3 weeks he could have addressed this. So he's abusing me by addressing it 3 weeks later, and this is proof of the abuse because he could have addressed this 3 weeks ago. Okay? She said, this behavior is, wait. She said, at any point in the last 3 weeks, he could have addressed any issues with my counsel regarding visits or my scheduled employment out of the country. This behavior is to get more clicks and fame for his online. All right? Now, God forbid he responded to the claims that you made. She said this is for him to get clicks and views for his online. She said the court should be aware that Daryl has been violating the orders made and having his agents and third parties text me, threaten me. I will provide proof at the hearing of this ongoing abuse. I must be on set in Italy to film a movie. I am contractually bound to be there from June 7th to August 4th, 2025. Daryl has known about this work obligation for months. This is my source of income on which Halo and I rely to pay all bills. Daryl has not contributed any regular support since Halo was born. I will be held liable for damages to this film if I am not there, which I believe would be a breach of my contract. I cannot leave Halo with Daryl as Daryl will be out of town majority of those months. Halo is also a protected person by the court's temporary restraining order. On Saturday, May 31st, 2025, Daryl and his brother were recorded on TikTok. All right? She said, listen, Judge, they recently were on TikTok cutting up, okay? Now, this is how a court order go. You in the midst of going to war with me and you do something that I can use against you that shows that I am a damsel, baby, I'm going to use it. And he was stupid for being on camera, on TikTok, getting mad and having people rough up anybody for saying doo-doo garbage, all right? She said, listen, Judge, they were on TikTok cutting up on the 31st, okay? She said, Judge, deny this today, all right? So she says they were on TikTok. Hold on, wait. Let me read the last page. She said oh, wait. Hold on. All right. Let me read the last line. She says, on Saturday, May 31st, Daryl and his brother were recorded on TikTok being involved in a fist fight with another man. I will bring this video to court. Daryl and the people around him are aggressive and angry, which leads me to believe this is not a safe environment for Halo. Moreover, Daryl plans to be in Houston, Hawaii, Atlanta, and Paris streaming 24/7 during the month of June, according to his own online posts. When he has had custody in the past, he has left Halo with his mother. As of June 2nd, 2025, Daryl is online rallying against me, alleging he cannot see his son. He is not in Los Angeles. This behavior is not child-centered, and Halo is only being used to further his fan base and online presence. I am requesting that the court restrain and enjoin Daryl as his agents, including his family and friends, from posting about our son. This litigation and me on all platforms, including but not limited to Twitch, YouTube, X, aka Twitter, and Instagram. I declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of California that the foregoing is true and correct, and that is what she put in her declaration to the court. Somebody said the chat is calling out the mods for going against Neek, has me rolling. What What mods? What are y'all? Who are y'all talking about? What mods are y'all talking about? What I miss? What y'all talking about? I missed that. I was reading. You said Stevie Ray. Huh? I'm like, what are y'all talking about? All right, so now let's look at what she posted. Um, y'all said they trolling. All right. All right, so this is what she put in her response exhibits. So exhibit 1 in her declaration, hold on, let me put it on the screen. Y'all crazy. All right, so this is exhibit 1. So exhibit 1 in her proof that his fans are going against her and she's like in fear for her life is this post right here. It says, laughing my A off. No, it's not. We plan to drive Halle absolutely crazy to the point she either self-harms or gives the baby back to DDG. And then it shows that this post has been deleted. All right. She then posts another post from somebody and it says, free Halo, B. All right. Then she posts all of these other threads and it says, let DDG see his son. Let him see his son. This is getting sad. DDG may be an ass, but we know he's a good dad. Don't take that away from Halo. Yeah, let that N-word see his baby, yo. Let DDG see his son. Out partying, but couldn't let him have his son for one night while in the same city. Evil. Another person, you could have let DDG see his son tonight while you were at a party since it's been nearly a month, but you didn't. I pray you start being a better co-parent. All right. So then she posted another post and somebody said, one day Halo will understand the damage hashtag she has done to his childhood. Hashtag free Halo. All right. So then she posted these other posts where it says, it's been a month since DDG saw his son. Let him see his son in peace, you loser, MFer, ET looking ass 304. Somebody says, shut the F up, Halle. It's been a month. Let him see his son. Let dog see his son, though, and quit the childish ish. DDG better avatar eyes. Congrats, Halle. If you out, let DDG babysit his son instead of a random. Yes, I'm sucking D. And yes, DDG F's the baddest 304s. Now what? Another person says, you're a horrible person for not letting Daryl see Halo while you're partying in New York and then taking him with you to a different country right after. It's been a month since he saw his son, but put your hatred for him aside and become a better person. Now, exhibit 2 is another exhibit that she's posting. And this is the TikTok where it says, so instead of Halle Bailey sending her baby to his loving father, DDG, and grandma, she has him hanging out with someone who gets paid to look after him. This is not okay ever. That's a child. And so this is a screen grab of a person who has took a private video of Halo in the park. Let me pull up the video. Hold on, let me type it. What is it? CHARGE. Oh, Charge My Rose. Dang, is it deleted? Hold on, let me look it up on X. I seen it on Instagram the other day. All right, here it go right here. So this is it right here. Somebody was at a park and it says Halo spotted with the nanny at the park looking sad. All right, so this is the video that was attached to that TikTok of Halle that she submitted to the court. All right, so that this is the video that's attached to this TikTok. All right. So then it says so those are her exhibits. Wait, wasn't it more? All right. So and then what else was there? How long we been on here? Do any of y'all want to come up and tell me your thoughts on the matter? What do y'all think? Oh, I forgot to give Binky her attention. Wait. Let's give Binky her attention. She wanted her attention so bad. Hold on. Where's Binky? She wanted attention so bad. Wait, where's she at? I promised her attention. Then we're gonna. Is there anybody who wants to come up? Tell me what y'all think. Let's go to StreamYard. We could spend 15 more minutes. You said go back to NY now. I know. Goodness gracious. I need to make a red eye flight today. Hold on, y'all. All right, there we go. Here's the StreamYard link. Anybody want to come up? Let's give Binky her attention, though. You know, she was just definitely desperate for some attention. Oh, I thought this was Binky, child. The person that I was giving attention to, I thought it was Binky. It is somebody else. But it was on the Meg and Tory situation, so child, we just gonna give her the attention that I thought was Binky because she came in with the same Meg and Tory ish or whatever. So let's read this real quick and then we're gonna move on. Let's address this really quickly. Click off. Oops, click off. And have y'all hit the like button yet? Or are y'all playing? Let me see if y'all playing games with the likes. Are the people playing games with the likes? Oh, they're absolutely playing games. They're absolutely playing games for sure. All right, Neek and Ayo are backstage. I'm about to pull y'all up in a second. Do not go anywhere. I'm about to pull y'all up. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. I want to address this really quickly. As a matter of fact, they're unimportant. Let's go to you. Neek, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so I can't go on camera because I'm supposed to be working.
You're not on camera. Go ahead.
Okay,
Oh, just let me
so
give you a disclaimer. I don't mind if you disagree or have a difference of opinion. Just be respectful as far as language, and that's it. Go
mhm,
ahead.
I got you. Okay, so for one, I I think a lot of people don't get where you're coming from because half these people aren't parents.
Mm-hmm.
I I saw right through this when Halle first filed her paperwork. I saw that the marks they look like restraint marks to me. I don't understand how you can chip a tooth and not bust a lip. I didn't understand that. So now this whole thing with all of a sudden she wants supervised visitation. Why does he have to be supervised because he doesn't want to be with you? Why does he have to now you don't want his mom to watch the baby? Now you're complaining about the things that are being said to you online. This man can't control his fans no more than she can control hers. He can't control what they say. It was all fine and dandy when they were sending this man death threats for taking a boy on Kai's stream. It was all fine and dandy when they were on stream together with Halo. Now it's I don't want him online. I don't get that. And I don't feel like that's fair. I agree with you. If they say he can't put him online, they need to say the same thing to her. Because the whole world knew she had him in St. Lucia or wherever they just went. What if people would have came and harassed her then? He wasn't safe then, according to her, because people knew where they were. I don't get it. I don't understand how women feel like just because I push the baby out, I get to control I get to control things. You don't. That baby is 50% DDG, that baby is 50% Halle. Now, I agree. We all know what type of dude DDG is. She just now finding out apparently. What we didn't know was that Halle was this way. That's why it's not surprising. Oh, he cheated. Oh, he slept with this person. Oh, he did that. Girl, we told you that. We
Mm-hmm.
were just waiting on you to find out.
Yeah, folks got to find out for themselves, though.
I get it, and I get it, and it's like she found out, but she still wanted to be with him. It's like you're saying he's this abusive person, but you mad that he won't be with you. This man, what I saw in the messages, this man tried to walk away. This man tried to, okay, look, I'm not about to deal with this because you're running off with my pew pew. You every time you get mad, you're threatening to off yourself. I don't need to deal with this. She couldn't handle the breakup. But it's like I don't get it. Now, I for one knew he wasn't about to get full custody. I honestly don't think he even wants full custody because DDG tried to keep this part of Halle off the internet. The only time I've seen him come on and bad talk her is when he's saying she won't let me see my son. But he didn't expose this part of it. I don't know.
All right, thank you. Only thing I will give you pushback on is people said that It's possible to bust your lip. I mean, to chip your tooth without busting your lip. I don't know, but that's what people are saying in the
That may be
comments.
possible. I've just never. I won't say it's not possible. I'll just say that I've just never seen it.
All right. Well, thank you, Neek.
You're welcome. I'm gonna drop down.
All right. ATG, hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was married to somebody that pulls I'm gonna kill myself and
I'm gonna delete
so
myself
depressed
or
and things
unblock.
like
Say
that. And they
that.
was depressed before, you know.
ATG.
Yeah.
Oh, just going forward, just say delete or the other
Oh.
words. All right, but go ahead.
Okay. All right, my bad. So yeah, so they wanted to delete themselves and all that. And it's exhausting dealing with somebody like that. Like when he just texts back the one word, the one sentence reply, it's because he's exhausted, and people don't understand that. Just because she's a female doesn't mean that she can put that type of mental stress on somebody. You understand what I'm saying? Like a lot of people haven't dealt with somebody like that before. So when they see that type of stuff, they feel like that person needs sympathy and empathy. It's like, no, you don't realize he's probably told her she's beautiful a million times, that everything's okay. He's gonna be a good father. He's never gonna leave her a single month. He's probably told her all the rundown that she needs to hear. But in that mentality, in that state, she can't hear it. And so it's he probably cheated out of, I'm not gonna say out of relief, but out of trying to get out of an exit. Oh, if I cheat, maybe this will make her leave me, because sometimes a person like that, you can tell them, listen, I can't deal with this anymore. I don't like when you say you want to delete yourself. I need a break. And then they'll say, well, if you leave me, I'll off myself. Like she said, I got a knife. It'll be off. It's like, so I can't even leave you. Maybe if, he felt like maybe if he do something, she'll go ahead and leave. But it's like, people don't get it, man. That depression stuff, if it's postpartum depression, whatever it is, it's exhausting dealing with somebody like that. Please trust me. I literally had to divorce my wife because she was such a depressed person. Don't want to get off the couch, don't want to go nowhere. I want to delete myself. I'm ugly. Nobody loves me. It's like, yo, I just can't deal with it. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, is that he needs some sympathy too. Some people have to feel for him too. I needed somebody to feel for me with me dealing with somebody like her, and nobody wanted to do that because 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 I'm not a depressed person, because I can pick myself up. Nobody has sympathy for me. That's all I wanted to say.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you. Now, only pushback I'm gonna say is, now, child, now it is probably exhausting to deal with. I'm gonna delete yourself, but I don't think that's why he probably cheated though. But go ahead.
I got you. All right.
All right, thank you.
Hey,
Aya, is it Aya?
Yeah, hey Neek.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, how you doing? Honestly, I've been watching you for a long time, but that's beside the point. Thank you for always, being truthful and always just speaking facts, girl. But I'm not to say much. I'm not a parent, but from the outside looking in, I just think it's really sad that the child gets the brunt of everything when the parents are going through their battles and stuff. I think it's really frustrating being in the public eye, and you have everyone's opinions on your situation. But to be real, I just think they are both young and toxic and crazy, and I think there's things between them that we might not understand, and the tit for tat is real crazy. But yeah, it's just really insane seeing the type of things people say, like that tweet when the person was like, oh, we're trying to drive Halle crazy so that she can, like, I don't know, like basically self-delete or harm herself, is really insane. Like, people really have these like parasocial relationships with these celebrities and think they know them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really like Delulu. Like, people are real crazy these days. But yeah, that's all I want to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you for coming up. All right, Issa.
Yo, what's good, Neek?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I just want to first of all say that I really appreciate your logicness with this situation that's going on between the two. A lot of people can't appreciate that or understand that, period. So I really appreciate you seeing both sides instead of being biased, and especially like you being in a similar situation.
No,
Not
I
fully,
wasn't
but
in a similar
not fully,
situation.
not fully.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
not fully, not like that.
Only the court battle part. I ain't
Right,
been in
right,
no
right, right,
laying
right.
hands and all that
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But I do love Halle. I've heard of DDG before, but like I do love Halle. I like her music and everything. I've been following her for a minute. And like you said, like what have you been doing too? So and I mean and I'm glad that she did admit her her faults too when she did fall and everything. So she is take accountability. But like you said, like what I'm seeing too from the outside looking in is that it's just a back and forth. It's just like, oh, okay, so you trying to be funny. Oh, okay, so I'm a do my thing too as well. So that's all what it is. And I just hate this for the child. Like I say, I really hate this for the child because y'all gotta think about this. Like they're celebrities. So when this child gets older and they're on the internet, because the internet is not going anywhere and things stay on the internet forever, the child is going to witness everything that's happening right now. The child's going to witness like everything unfolding. The child's going to witness them as a baby being stalked. Like you got to really think about that. And I just think on both sides, on both sides, the fans need to chill out. And I know that they can tell their fans to chill out, but at the end of the day, they can't control them. It's just like I say, it's a parasocial relationship that's really weird because they don't even know you exist. But yeah. I'm just thinking about the child. Like the child's gonna see all of this unfolding when they get older, and I mean, hopefully, when the child is a little bit older, they are in a better place. But I'm just really thinking about the child right now.
All right.
But
Thank
yeah,
you, Issa.
thank you.
All right. All right. That's all the people that decided to be bold and click the link. And that's all for this video. Who do you stand with? I see people saying, I stand with Halo. I stand with Halle. I stand with DDG. I see you guys saying that in the chat. Who do you think is right in this situation? Who do you think is wrong in this situation? And what are your thoughts overall? Now, my take is the same. I feel like as women, we have to realize that having a baby in toxic situations is not going to make it better. Now, accidents happen. Sometimes, you slip up, you caught up in love, and you are in a relationship, you get pregnant, and you hope for the better, which a lot of people hope for the best, But when that time comes, a baby entering into an already toxic situation is not going to make it better. Looking at the things that he has presented and looking at the things that she has presented, I think that both of them were in a situation that they were not in a place to birth a child into. Halo is a blessing. He is an intelligent baby, and I'm sure neither party regrets their child, but I think that both parties were way toxic prior to him ever being a thought that they should not have engaged in anything like that. Being that he's here, he's not going in, she went through with the pregnancy and they both love their baby, then now there is going to be a war. He's going to sling his dirt. Now, a lot of her fans or women, period, feel as though if you are a woman, you can sling your dirt. You can say, oh, this man is a horrible person. And because you think he's horrible, you feel like he doesn't have a voice. He is allowed to defend himself. And in his defense, he can counter what she's saying. And if she's throwing the worst of the worst about him, he's going to throw the worst of the worst at her. Acting like you're shocked or surprised that he is posting his receipts or acting like it's so egregious that he's sharing his side is wild to me. That is what is to be expected. If you put in a court order and you put all of these things that he possibly did to you, he's going to put in things that he deems you possibly did to him. It's going to work back and forth. And when you guys go before a judge, they are going to be the person to mediate in the middle. Now, because he allowed a restraining order to be put in place, he's going to have to wait for a calendar hearing, and he's going to have to wait for them to go and sit in a mediation. Now, if he can prove that he did not maliciously just bang her head into a steering wheel, and he can prove that it was a struggle with the baby and she scratched him, and you know what I'm saying, and they were tussling, what I perceive is set ahead. I think that if she has not already taken parenting classes, a judge is going to order parenting classes for her and parenting classes for him. Now, being that she filed first and she's already talking about that she's went to therapy, I wouldn't be surprised if she does not have a good legal team that already advised her to enroll herself in parenting classes. Even if you feel like, oh, she's such a sweet angel, both of them have exhibited toxic things around the child. So a judge or a moderator will say, listen, you need parenting classes, you need parenting classes, and if DDG is smart, he shouldn't self-enroll himself and bring that information before a judge. Now, they're going to sit in a moderation room, and a moderator is going to look at, before the separation, what time did DDG have with his child. They're going to look at the parenting time that he has spent. They're going to look at, was he a deadbeat? Is he only conveniently wanting to be in his child's life because she filed a paper? He's going to be able to prove that he was an active father prior to this paperwork. And what the mediator is going to then weigh and balance out is whether or not DDG is a danger to his child. Now, DDG did himself a disservice by acting a plumb fool in the middle of a custody battle, going to that DreamCon or whatever that event was, where he told the guy on camera to press the guy, whoever, that guy who called him doo-doo garbage. Because that happened, they will use that in determining whether or not he is a safe person to be in his child's life. Had that instance not been a current thing that just happened, I feel like he would have had a better footing in this custody battle when they went to moderation. And if he has a good legal counsel, it is what it is. But what I think that will happen, because his silly self went to that event and said press him on camera, and it is shown that his brother was pressing him on camera, I don't think that the judge is going to strip DDG. I don't think that she's going to be allowed to get sole custody forever. I think that they will start with a limited basis because he decided to be silly online. All right. Now, they might propose that there is a certain designated person to handle transfers, and he's going to have to build up things if he doesn't have proper proof to prove that it was a skit, because he can go to court and say, this is a skit. We were just joking. This was pre-planned. But then you got the guy saying that he wanted to, sue them, or he thinking about suing them. So there's that also. If I was DDG, not saying, but I would get old boy on board to play ball. Okay? That's just me. But, that's also, that's also what got Diddy in trouble. Trying to get the witnesses to play ball. So I'm not saying create no do nothing illegal. I'm just saying, you know, you should have got him on board. Anyways, but yeah, so that's what I think is going to happen going forward. I think that they're going to have to go to a regular hearing. I think that they're going to set forth a mediator to sit and listen to him, her. They're going to evaluate how much time DDG was spending with the child before they separated. They're going to evaluate how much time he was spending with the child before she decided she wanted to have the baby primarily with her. And they're going to evaluate that and come up with a plan for that. So that's what's going to happen going forward, I believe. All right. But yeah, so that's that on that. And we got to get into the Diddy stuff because it's a lot of going ons that's going on. Okay. It's a lot of goings ons that's goings ons, and we got to get into